So today, I'm so excited about this one. Like, I love Stephanie Jewett so much. So I'm talking to her about many things. I can introduce everyone to you, but like, I feel like you should introduce everyone to you. Tell them who you are.
First and foremost, thank you for making time for me, putting me on her schedule. My name is Stephanie Jewett. I am the founder and CEO of Actively mobile app. That's Actively spelled with 2 V's. And so we're Tinder for fitness buddies. So if you need somebody to go hiking, biking, do yoga, you're traveling to another city and you want to go exploring, maybe not alone because we're women and safety, you download the app and you find friends that way. And then the other thing that I do is I am the co-founder of Startup Sisters USA. We are a community of women who intentionally come together to support one another's businesses and grow them.
I love that. And I remember the first time I met you was actually at the Startup Sisters event. And you just have this spirit about you. And I love how you're able to like galvanize women. How?
I didn't know I could do that, for the record. It was just really speaking about what's true to me and where I saw the lack. I am a former CNN producer, and when I transitioned into technology and being an entrepreneur, I didn't know anybody. And I found how isolating it was. You work from home, you work from a co-working space, and you don't know anybody and you don't know other women.
Right.
And I saw that as a need, like, okay, so we can go hear panels and you're hearing these inspiring women like Diamond speaking and teaching us, but how do you connect with the other women in the room who are in the trenches working?
Yes.
So that's what led me to create and sharing your mission, like we are here to, one, address the fear that women have, which is there's not enough resources, there's not enough opportunity, there's not enough money. So if she's successful, I can be successful. So let's throw that out, because that's a damn lie.
Oh, facts.
And men don't operate that way. So like, why are we as women not making connections, not making email introductions, not sharing business resources with one another if that's there and available?
Can I ask you, because I used to like lead a community of women, and I found it very difficult because of the work that I had not yet done on myself. It seems like you've done a lot of work on yourself because you're able to pour so much into women. Like, how were you able to do that? And like, even when did that start for you? Like this self-awareness?
Really great question. So it started for me, I'm 33, and it started for me really late. I was not necessarily a girl's girl, not against women, but I wasn't like down for women the way that I am now. I really wasn't.
That's so hard to believe.
So I would say probably like 27, 28, 29, 30 was just kind of like a soul awakening of just like finding your soul and understanding like all these things are kind of set up against women, but at the core of who we are, we're hustling, we're wives, we're mothers, we're sisters, we're girlfriends, and we're trying so hard to build. But when women build, it's not just for us,
right?
It's for everybody else.
Absolutely.
And you're like, I'm Cuban and I'm from Miami, and culturally speaking, you know, you see women being cheated on, being abused, being like, or, you know, like there's just a different energy. And I'm not saying those are the only things, but we're always sacrificing for others. And I think there's an opportunity for us to come together to strengthen in a different way, like
so
really
build
both, business.
Right?
Yes.
So you can like build a business and build community while still working on yourself. Because I think I sacrifice self in order to build community. So how have you found that to be very helpful for you in building Startup Sisters and Actively?
I think, one, being true to your mission. Like once you understand this is what, and I don't think, by the way, I want to say one thing about purpose. I don't think you necessarily like find your purpose like you just bump into it. I think you're actively searching for it, looking for it, being aware that. So I started this organization because I wanted to meet other women and bring them together.
I love that.
And once I was in that space, I realized how much more I loved women and how much more inspired I am by women and how much more we can give to each other. And sometimes you think, if I can't write a check, are we actually helping one another?
Yes, and that's not true, right?
And it's not true at all.
Yes.
And so it's about like, can I make an email introduction for you?
Yes.
Can I introduce you to somebody who might be a mentor? Can I tell you about an accelerator or money or some kind of opportunity without fear? Like what's yours is meant to be yours, and there's more than enough. What's mine is going to be mine.
Yeah.
And if we're not operating from that space, then we can like pour into each other fearlessly.
Oh my God, I love that. And it's like, how beneficial has that been for you to help other women?
The byproduct is, one, exceptionally beneficial, but two, the byproduct is one, have no expectation. Like, I'm not helping the next woman expecting her to give me anything back. However, the universe, what you put into action, this good that you just give, because I want to see more women, when I want to see us.
Oh, I love it.
There's so much
That's
available.
why I love you so much, seriously.
And that's true to you. And then all these women, I kid you not, when you are trying to build something like Majority Women and like your brand that you're building now, show up out of the woodwork to help you. And it's the craziest thing, like very accomplished women. The universe like balances it all out. Like, you're pouring into women, and then other women see that and they're like, okay, now let me pour into you. You don't have to ask for a single thing back. It just, you're putting it in motion and good into the world, and it comes back.
And you really strong-heartedly believe that. And not even believe it, you've seen it.
I mean, okay, so I'm at the point with Actively, and we're about to launch the new app, and women, really accomplished women who have been like CIOs, CTOs, see what I've been building for Startup Sisters, and I keep Startup Sisters for women starting at this entry level and just beyond, and they're showing up to help me. They're like, we need to see you raise money, get investment, and grow. And they're showing up to mentor me and to help me where I'm weak.
Oh, that's so
And
good.
I'm not looking, like, they're showing up, like, I heard about you.
Because.
Other women have said nice things about you, and there's something true to that.
Yeah, and so in doing my work, some of the work that I've done with entrepreneurs, and just in starting my own business, a lot of people have always asked, like, how do I get started? And like, what would you tell somebody?
As a business period?
Yeah, like as a startup founder. I want to have a startup. I have this good idea. I have this big idea, you know. What do you tell them?
Okay, so I have 2 or 3 things that are like must-dos. First and foremost, research. Like, you have to Google. And so many people are like, well, I looked on one Google search, or I looked at one iTunes store, and that was it.
Yeah.
First, Google your product, research your product. And if you find other competitors, you're like, you wanted to create a brand new water bottle and you find 12. And you still want to do it, cool, do it. But what makes yours different? So 1, research the market, who's available, and if you still believe in this enough to pursue it, what makes you different? What makes you special? And why does the market need you? What do people, who's your audience, what do they need?
Yes,
and
I
then
love that.
and then 2, like, take action. Every time
Action. Action is like a key word.
Truly, but and I don't want you to think that it's like you have to take giant action. It can be every time you do one tiny thing.
Yes.
There's like a quote that goes around Instagram, and actually Portia Thomas posted it for Go Work Girls, and it was like, every time you take a step or an action, you are declaring to the universe your intention to make this happen. So researching, asking a girlfriend, going to a networking event, even if you don't know anyone and it's scary, those small, tiny actions add up, and it's one step and then you've walked miles.
Right, I love that. And that's the thing, because like, we don't even have to consider it tiny. It's just like one step. And how I look at it is, if I take a step, the universe takes a step for me. So if I take one step, I know that I've really taken technically 2 steps. And so I'm a lot further ahead than I even thought I was. So you said you had a 3rd thing. What was your 3rd thing?
Well, I would say networking, putting yourself out there.
Yes.
It is exceptionally scary. It is the thing that nobody wants to do because it's uncomfortable, but it is the thing that I have found the most beneficial.
Yeah. It's that community, right, that you build around yourself.
So yes, and one of the things that I got asked to do, one of the very first like podcast things I was ever asked to do, Eric Holtzclaw, and he told me something that I think about all the time. He said, in Atlanta, and I know this is, you know, nationwide, but in Atlanta, we have to see you a few times. We'll be nice to you, but we have to see you a few times to trust you and to help you.
That's so important.
So I mean, even if you're showing up in the room, and you don't have to expect anything, just be there to observe, to hear how these people in these fields and these industries are talking. I actually take notes on vocabulary in technology and in business. If I hear somebody saying something, because I want to use it and sound credible.
Yes.
And then when you have that networking conversation, hey, nice to meet you, blah, 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 you sound for real. And people know that you're hustling and trying, and they're going to help you.
Oh, I love that. That's so
being
great.
Being present, truly.
That's a big one. Okay, got it. Well, we're going to take a look at the space.
Yes.
I'm so excited because you're in the Women's Entrepreneurship Initiative.
Yes.
So we're going to take a look.
It is an incubator that is the only city-backed women-only incubator in the entire country.
Really?